like that part where the drums came in with a bad break.
Yeah, it was funky.
Welcome, everybody. Had to take my heart medication in the middle of all that. Sorry for the delay. Just
okay.
You know, you got to remember these things. I am just here. We are, the Thursday hang. Never seems to be enough time to get ready, but always a great playlist. So seems like everything is working okay. I see somebody raising their hand in the room and giving us some love. I love it. If you're new to this, we are live streaming out on a couple of Ropeadope channels. We've got I've been digging through the Ropeadope archives to just find some interesting things, and I'll tell you, it's such a delight to just go back and find old things and new things that sound so interesting together. Mr. Brown, Mr. Fabian Brown from Ropeadope Central Headquarters, Decentralized Headquarters.
Decentralized Headquarters.
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. That's a hell of a playlist you put together there.
It seems it just happens. It's just not hard, you know. Thousands of songs. What do we estimate, about 3,000 songs at this point in this catalog? Over 21, almost 22 years. Wow, wait. It's December. Yeah, 22 years? How did that happen?
Yep, just like that.
Wow, wait.
Happy birthday, Ropeadope.
Yeah. Got to shout out DJ Logic and Scotty Hart for the birth, and John Medeski for the birth of Ropeadope there. So, I'm just checking all the bells and whistles here.
There's a little ghost in the computer. I hear us. I'm not sure if you hear us.
I don't. You getting some feedback?
A little loopy.
Yeah, let me see if I can work on that. Why don't you run down what the
yeah,
run down
we
the track is, if you would.
we came in pretty hot with an unreleased track from Nabate Isles. He has an album upcoming titled In Motion, and we came in with his song titled Harlem Shake, and a hell of a rhythm section, obviously a hell of a trumpet player there. We have the Nabate Isles, David Gilmour, Rachel Eckroth, I'm probably butchering her last name, but Grammy nominated pianist. We have James Francis Cave Rastagar, very familiar to the Ropeadope roster, Eric Harlan on drums, and we also had Butter on percussion coming in hot. And I didn't know where you were going to go, and then you got me with that second track, Louis. You got me with a little of the, again, other non-released music coming out this month from the Chicago Experiment Revisited. And I really can't wait for you to dig a little bit in what that album means to you and what the whole Experiment series means to you. But we heard a track from Greg Spiro and crew, track titled Beauty. We had Makai McCraven, Marcus Hill, Joel Ross, Jeff Parker, Daryl Jones, and of course Greg Spiro on piano on that one. And then right before we came off of that break, you threw us back probably, I don't know, more than a decade ago, maybe even I don't know, maybe even 20 years ago, something crazy like that, from the Dirty Drummer, with a track from that album, Dirty's Mobile Beat Shack. And I don't know how you do it every time, Louis, but you somehow can bring in the old with the new and make it sound so good. I don't know how you do it every time, Louis.
Thank you. I'm still getting that feedback.
Oh, you're muted, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm still getting that feedback, and we're not sure where the ghost is in this machine, but we will try to figure it out. Tell you what, I'm gonna cut back after Dirty D. I'm gonna slow it down a little and come into a little acoustic stuff that graces the label.
Right on.
We'll kick it off with some Jordan Hull.
I was standing in the mirror with your window on my mind. It was slowly getting clearer. You were just a friend of mine. I hope this feeling lingers. I'm walking the line. Everybody is a doorway. Be glad they let you in. You can always have it your way. When your way ain't nothing, I'm holding to one heart, babe. I want us to win. Was it just a waste of time? Or was it just a waste of time? Or Was it just a waste of time? Or was it just a waste of time? Well, I think I'm getting taller. Gonna make myself a tree before I grow down smaller. Gonna plant you next to me. I feel it in my fingers, right down to my knees. Was it just a waste of time? Was it just a waste of time? Or was it just a waste of time? Or was it just a waste of
carry on, my love. I ain't got time for you. Your blood runs cold as ice now. Can't bear your burdens too. Carry on, carry. Your eyes have turned to red. The damage was done. Your verdict's been set in stone. carry on, carry. You better run for the hills. Remember to hide your love. Remember to take all your pills.
All right. The ghosts continue to be in the machine as we work through this amazing feat of technology. We've decided to stay on this side, IRL, today, just to help out. And we do have this streaming out on YouTube and Twitter right now. So thanks for those who are watching. And we do encourage you, as you can see on screen. Here it is. We'll bring it up for you. There's our dear friend from NFT Oasis hanging out in the Ropeadope Lounge in the Dream House with some beautiful pictures decorated out with different art, and some of my pieces from recent travels featuring goats in a tree over in the corner, and then the streets of Porto, and also beautiful across the river picture of part of the interesting graffiti-laden district in Porto, which is really a wonderful place to visit.
I know exactly where I'm going after this broadcast is over. I didn't see these pictures yet, Louis.
So in Altspace, you also have you get your own room. Like you pick a particular scenario, they all look the same, but you can put your own pictures in there, and So if you go into Dig LP's spot, there's a little portal. If you can't find me, there's a little portal in the swimming pool over at the Ropeadope Lounge. Just go down the steps into the water and you can just drop in there. But I have some pictures from Marrakesh and Porto, and soon I'll be decking that out with photos of Lisbon, Copenhagen, and Barcelona. I got maybe, I don't know, 50 or 60 shots of graffiti in Barcelona, walking down by the train station. And so I'll be putting those up, and we'll bring them in here, rotate them out. Today, usually we try to focus only on the music, but you know, it's been fun traveling, and I like to see those up on the wall. Couple of my personal faves from the Ropeadope catalog. Mr. Jordan Hall with a new album, just came out last month. Waste of Time. Question we all ask ourselves these days: was it just a waste of time? Nothing is a waste of time. Just do what you do, right? And an old classic from Cabinet. I remember being the question at the label at that time was, should we really sign a bluegrass band? And my thought at the time was, you know, I love the jazz and I love the jam band world, but I don't want to be only defined by that. I don't think we should be. And ironically, they went on to play a lot of shows on the jam band circuit. So, and you know, I'd love to say that we were part of contributing to make that happen, but I think there's plenty of reference for bluegrass bands already being in the jam band world, especially since Jerry Garcia was very fond of that style of music. I did hear the other day, though, from the Campbell brothers, who, if you haven't been back to look at, you know, old Ropeadope history, Campbell brothers are a band from Rochester, New York. They play pedal steel and lap steel guitars right in the Word of God Church, and they actually gave Robert Randolph his first lap steel. And in the conversation, they pointed out that Ropeadope was instrumental in bringing sacred steel, as they call it, out to the world. And I think John Medeski is a leader in that one, but The Word was an original album, or an early album, with Medeski, Robert Randolph, and the North Mississippi Allstars. And then Masters of Sacred Steel was another album that came out on Ropeadope, and also the Campbell brothers. So, you know, at some point we get, at certain points we get lucky enough to kind of be a little bit of a leader and bring stuff out to the world. I think it's more what musicians are doing, and we're just sitting here with a little bit of a megaphone, little megaphone. That should be our new logo, just a small megaphone. We've got a lot coming up, so I'm just going to jump right back into the music. But let me turn the mic over to you, Mr. Brown. Anything you want to add at this point?
No, I mean, just for people, well, maybe a second, just for people who are joining in or watching this on the replay, you know, I would encourage you, if you're just popping in, definitely on the replay, check the earlier tracks that we jumped in with. You know, there was some unreleased music that we leaked out there from Nabate Isles and from Greg Spiro with the Chicago Experiment Revisited album coming up, which is a part of the Experiment series. Which I'm really, you know, I think, Louis, the Experiment series is something that, I don't know, 15, 20, 30, 50 years from now, people are going to look back and be like, what? They're going to be flown away. And we're in the present moment with all this stuff. I'm blown away with the amount of talent that, you know, these cats are bringing in these different cities and the music that's coming out. So that's all I wanted to add. That's all.
Well, we have reference already. I mean, it's 21 years since the Philadelphia Experiment came out, and we hear stories every day of people who say, you know, I started, you know, I was in school. I heard a new one the other day. We'll save it for another time. But just how the Philadelphia Experiment was like a key part of their education, and becoming a musician. So Chicago is next, and this is the second album in the Chicago Experiment series. So there'll be two of those and more to be announced, but I've already leaked 2 tracks accidentally today, so
Accidentally.
I should stop talking. So we're gonna go back to Philadelphia. There was a period in 2006, right when I first got involved with the music side of Ropeadope, when everything was in free fall because Napster and people were throwing away CDs, and so we kind of started a quote digital only label at the time, which is humorous now looking back on it, right? It was like radical news. It was covered in major digital only. Like, what is that? It's funny to look back. But at that time, it was really a special moment because we got to like just sign some people that ordinarily wouldn't have. You wouldn't do the full on gonna press thousands of CDs and all of this, right? So it was an easy okay. And there was great music happening in Philadelphia at the time, and this is one of those examples. The Burndown Allstars, featuring one and only Koof Knots in part of this, but let's just jump right in. This is an old favorite track.
At first it seemed like it could be so easy. Never thought that my dreams could deceive me. So much hope, so many tears been wasted. Working so hard, night and day, you can taste it.
I took a hit when I was hip, but now my lip is imperceptible. The choices that you make might turn out to be regrettable. But come round, man, you just can't deny it. You don't believe me, then go ahead and try it. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your darling your trouble. Yeah. I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your darling your trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your darling your trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get.
Yeah, benevolence and virtue. This beat will never hurt you if you dance and jerk your body to the music. Let it work you when the source is deep. The flow is long. One jam could go on and on and on. Look upon a star to make a little wish. Swimming in its groove like my name was Mr. Fish. You'll be amazed as the cipher gets praised. I'm so glazed, I'm in the days. Walk around in the summertime. Hey, yo, here is the sequel. I'm sweeter than equal, more like honey. You know I'm on the money. I'm the wizard of lemonade. I might burn out, but you know I never fade. And when I'm rested and relaxed, I bust another funky track. That's the Philly to my brother, never asked for a back.
You got some real hard ballers, shifty shot callers, selling out their brothers just to make $1 million. But G got love for his family, true. For the things that you do always come back to you. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your darling your trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your darling your trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your darling your trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get.
They say whatever's up must soon come down, and what you put out, it comes back around. It's called karma. In my days, mistakes been made. Many directions I've strayed. For fame I've prayed, but the path that I pave has been less than righteous. The grand scheme of things, I need change to occur. Put the blame right here, it's not all so fair. Took years to realize before I opened my eyes. Swam through pain, hurdle pressure, and walked through the fire. When depression grabbed a hold, leaf took me high. Broke hearts of many women and didn't think twice. All at once my world shattered, time to change my life.
I always knew that it's a fool who starts static over nothing. Every time you turn around, man, he's always up to something. But karma bring a wicked man straight to his knees. So just remember that when you're doing as you please. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your toiling and trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your toiling and trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get for your toiling and trouble. Yeah. Well, I'm the best in your bubble, and that's what you get.
Wherever you are, don't let your joy fade away. Everything we need, we have in our hands today.
love that keeps me flowing. And it's just love that keeps me growing. And it's just love, the only reason I can find from living is I'm bugging through the streets trying to keep my head on spin. Cause it's just love that keeps me flowing. And it's just love that keeps me growing. And it's just love, the only reason I can find from living is I'm bugging through the streets trying to keep my head on spin.
Live, love, life forever, y'all. It's our time. Live, love, life forever, y'all. It's our time.
All right. Sorry to cut you off just as they were taking off on that one. You'll have to go back and look that one up. That is Bodega out of Philadelphia and Westchester, PA. Nick Bockrath, lead guitarist, at least last I checked, with Cage the Elephant. He must have been 17 years old at the time. They were playing a local place called Fenario in Westchester, PA, and just killing it. So, like I said, it was great at that time, and we try to keep that going. Is to be a home for some folks who are just coming up and don't quite have the opportunity or the facility yet to be on a label or in the national attention. So that was good. We are running out of time though, Mr. Brown. I think we're gonna have to make a call here because of the Ghost in the Machine and the tech problems. I'm gonna play a couple more songs, then we can wrap up, and then I'm gonna continue to play the stream into the virtual room. So if anybody wants to jump in there and anybody's passing through, always passers through, they can pop in there and listen to that. And of course, the stream will continue all the way through to the end of our set list live. We just won't be back. That's all.
Okay.
In fact, we had, how much time do we have here?
Well, we got 4 minutes till the top of the hour. I'm curious. I'm curious if you would take maybe 30 seconds before we get back into the music.
Why don't we take a little talk time now? Then we'll go into the music, let it play to the end of the stream, and we're good to go. Then we can get on with our lives.
Well, I'm just curious because I think what we're doing here is pretty. I mean, from the outside looking in, it's kind of mind-boggling, right? Here we are, we're streaming on Twitter, we're streaming on YouTube, but also here we are, we're in this thing called the metaverse. We're in this virtual reality room, and that's something that people are hip to, but not a lot of people are hip to. I don't even know if not a lot of people are hip to is even the right thing to say. Right. I guess where I'm going with this is, can you maybe touch upon what is the scope? Where are we going? What is the metaverse to Ropeadope, and what are we curating? What are we doing? What's the skinny? What's the vibe? What's going on? At least as of today.
Well, that's a really great question, Fabian.
What's going on? At least
as
of today.
Question we ask ourselves all the time, but it all starts with how do we reach out to people and present this music for artists, right? Right. But I think we're at an interesting inflection point, at least internally, in that I think we're at an interesting inflection point. Rather than just commercially reaching out to try to pack a room or, get a bunch of listeners or have a lot of likes or a lot of follows or a lot of streams or record sales. Those are all interesting and important. But in the media space, I think that we're literally making a time capsule here. We're curating and cataloging a moment in time for future generations to hold on to and for us to come back to. It's almost like a photograph. And so I look at the room, and yes, I would love for there to be 500 people in there. It would be absolutely wonderful and fun, but it would also that will come, I guess is what I'm saying, right? At present, and you and I have been doing this for some time, right? I think it's been almost 4 years since we put the first cameras up. We're like, let's make a show, we get to go back and look at those. Aside from the awkward, personal things of looking back at your own self on film, I think we've captured some really interesting things, and we've captured some artists in the rooms, interviews, and this is just the next step of that. And now we're cataloging this interactive experience between metaverse and live stream and Zoom, and and it feels real. Despite the common notion that this virtual world is a synthetic world, this feels real. So that's what I think we're doing.
I love that.
Want to talk
Sorry.
real quick? I had some things on the wall. I want to talk about what's coming up at Ropeadope before we go back to music and close this out.
Yeah, that's great.
I had some things on the wall. I want to talk about what's coming up at Ropeadope before we go back to music. And
You want me to talk about it? I'm sorry. I it's I hear myself and I hear you, and I'm listening to myself and hearing you.
Yeah.
The ghost is a real thing. Well, later on this evening, as a matter of fact, I believe is today the 8th of December. The ghost is a real thing.
It is. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. So what's cooking tonight? I know we're going out west, and we're going to be. Gordon Campbell is putting something phenomenal together. A little bit late on the East Coast time, but for all of you night owls, I think it's going to be something that you definitely want to tune into.
Yeah, 7:30 Pacific, a live event. 50 people attend. He's recording a live album, a live version of his Conversations album. Special guests all over. Many of which are not on the flyer. For any number of reasons. I'd expect that it'll be, a mix of musical elite in Los Angeles, but it's also being broadcasted in the metaverse as we do here. We asked our good friends at NFT Oasis if they would host it, and they willingly agreed. And they already have 100 or more RSVPs for people to come to the metaverse party and watch this thing, and that's the only. Strangely enough, so it's a ticketed event for the in person. It's also ticketed live stream. You can go to the Ropeadope website and find that information. You can also go to NFT Oasis Twitter or Ropeadope Twitter, and that information will be there. You can buy a ticket for the live stream and push it up on whatever device you have. Or you can go and attend in VR for free and go hang out with people. And I think some of the people, I hope some of the people will pop into VR. I will be peacefully sleeping, preparing for another release day tomorrow. But
probably wise. I'm one of the guys that will definitely catch the replay. I might get on there if I can get on there. Something about, I don't know, kids and getting them ready for school the next morning makes me kind of one of those guys, I guess, right?
So this thing's going to be recorded, and we will be releasing that live version. Also, you'll be able to purchase it in the future in CD quality files on a CD, and also in high-res digital files online. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens there. I mean, the people on the original record, just T.J. Wilkins, Sheila E., Harvey Mason, Terrace Martin, Kamasi was on there, was he not? Mm-hmm. I mean, it just goes on and on and on because Gordon knows them all. So it's going to be something.
And the smoothest cat, the nicest cat, the most humble cat that you'll find. And that was his debut album. He's the guy that's been on the road with so many heavy hitter people, in the industry. And when you have a guy, a monster musician like that, not just a musician, man, but a composer, arranger, writer, when you give him some time to reach a maturity level in his playing and in his writing and composition, and comes out with something like that, it's just a phenomenal album. Something that I go back and I visit. So that's coming up. That's tonight. It's 7:30 Pacific time.
Yep.
And I think the following, are we back with the Dorian's Mode next week? Am I accurate with that?
That's correct. Dorian's Mode next week, episode 2. Where Dorian will read from his the book that he's writing and also play a song from the album that he is creating over the next 8 to 9 months, and talk about music, healing, incarceration, community, and can't wait to see what guests he has on. It's very interesting, very deep, heavy discussion, but also a very powerful, positive kind of experience. So please join us in VR for that. Yeah.
And then, back on the Ropeadope front regarding some upcoming releases for the remainder of this month. Well, obviously we're still early in the month. So last week we had Nabate Isles with a single, along with Chicago Experiment Revisited. Coming up tomorrow, as a matter of fact, with a track from the upcoming album. We have Alex Schulman. We have
Alex
Lisa Marie.
Schulman.
Track from the upcoming album. I'm sorry.
Alex Schulman. What a beautiful record.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I had a nice little chat with him today. Lisa Marie Simmons, Shayna Steele. I don't want to go too far ahead, but we have some really exciting and interesting releases coming up for the top of the year and to close out 2022.
Let's do it. Let's get to the 23. And remember, so next Thursday will be Dorian's Mode. The following Thursday we'll be back with more music. I also want to point out what we're going to do now is we're going to sign off. The stream will continue with straight music right to the end. Coming up, some Greg Hester. For those East Philadelphia fans, the Blue Method. And then some Gennaro Jarrell, J.J. Burton with Scott Burton. And then a mystery track, which the world has not heard outside of a small studio in Philadelphia in 2002. I think my ears, outside of those original producers, the only ones that have a copy of it, although somebody else might. I doubt it. And then we end with, let me just check it real quick.
That guy that had the copy threw out their copy of their CD because they went all digital.
What's that?
I'm trying to make a joke. I said the other guy that had a copy of it threw out his CD because he went all digital.
Because he went all digital. There you go.
Threw out his CD because he went all digital.
There you go. The echo is brutal. We're hearing it. Hopefully, no one out there is hearing it. I don't think you are. We checked. The last thing I want to say before we sign off and keep the music going is that we're going to put every one of these episodes up as a playlist on Spotify and on Apple Music. So check out Ropeadope Spotify and Ropeadope as a curator on Apple Music, and you'll see these pop up a couple of days after the show. And you can always go to ropeadope.com/selected to track our progress and see what we played, what we're going to play. And thank you all.
Awesome.
Mr. Brown. Thanks,
you.
Louis. And here we go. Thank you all.
to me and say, what's a fool like you doing here? And even though I've got it made, I've just begun to see it clearly. All my love is gone. It left the night we said goodbye. Baby, one day in a dream, we will see where we are going. It's what we're meant to be. It's what we're meant to be. It's what we're meant to be. Hustlers, killers, and thieves. People still come up to me and say, what's a fool like you still doing here? Just because you think you've got it made. You think you can see everything so clear. All your love is gone. It left the night you said goodbye. But maybe one day in a dream, you will see where you are going. It's what you're meant to be. It's what you're meant to be. It's what we're meant to be. Hustlers, killers, and thieves.
worship him in spirit and truth. Just like the wind that keeps on blowing. We cannot see him, but we feel him move. There is a God, true living God, Almighty worship him in spirit and love, just like the wind that keeps on blowing. We cannot see him, but we feel him move. There is a God, true living God, Almighty. Some people, I've heard them say that they don't believe in God. When trouble comes in their life, the first thing they cry is, "Help me, oh God." Some people, a fool